if they're in this fandom, this is the first time they can sit down and watch Star Wars with their kids. They're gonna love it. It's a great show.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you.
Oh my goodness, what a blessing. This is one of the funnest things about doing these things live is things happen. Okay, let's all pretend that we really enjoyed this time on set. This is going to go on the blooper reel. It was so cute. Take 2. Huh! Please help me in welcoming the incredible talent behind Black Lightning, DC Power Celebration #1. And you haven't seen it yet, but Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures, Lamont Magee is here. Yay!
Hey, everyone. Nice to talk.
How are you? How is it going today after all of that wildness?
It's great. It's great to be here. Thank you for the invite, and I appreciate any time you call me to do anything.
Well, you know that I think the world of you, so thank you for joining us. But let's get right into it. I don't want to take up too much of your time, especially because my microphone was having a moment. So I want to ask, how did Separate But Equal, which is your contribution to DC Power, how did that come to be? I know the story. Tell everybody else.
So I wrote on Black Lightning for the whole run. And when the editor, Marquise Draper, came across like the idea of putting Black Lightning in the book, he was like, let's call Lamont. And I was like, great, perfect, love it, I'm in. And he asked me to come up with a story for the 8 pages. And I had this idea that I was kicking around with a showrunner from another show. He shall not be named, but you know who you are. Love you much. So there was an idea of Jefferson going somewhere to visit another friend in the universe. And while he was there, this Separate But Equal story would take place where Jefferson is there to basically fight for the rights of the Medicads because people are afraid of their latent abilities, or they could be labeled as dangerous or violent, even if they're not doing anything, just because they have these abilities. Just automatically dovetailed into a separate but equal argument where, you know, it's always separate and never equal. So I just wanted to tell that story of, you don't have to fear the things you don't understand. Like, love really does conquer most things. So if you understand people and want to understand them, I don't think the violence really happens as much. So that was kind of the idea behind Separate But Equal.
I also want to encourage people, if you haven't checked it out yet, the last line of the last panel literally gave me chills. And you wrote this story so cinematically. Obviously, you did a lot of time on Black Lightning. Was this kind of like a homecoming or maybe a closing of a chapter?
It's a homecoming. I like going back to revisit Black Lightning, because that character meant a lot to me, and it meant a lot to a lot of people, because, you know, cinematically, whether it's TV, features, we don't have a lot of people that represent the different levels of an urban neighborhood. Usually it's people are portrayed one way or the other. The good thing about Black Lightning is you got to see the levels. You got to see the upper class Black families, the middle class Black families, the families that were struggling, but they all were there trying to help each other. And Jefferson was the linchpin. So this story is basically Jefferson gets to be a hero and Black Lightning gets to be a hero. I didn't want to make it a Black Lightning story where he comes in and saves the day. I wanted it to make it this man who's an educator is trying to make a difference, and being able to tell those stories matters to me because teachers have always mattered to me.
Your sweater also, by the way, is getting a lot of love in the comments, and also the art on the wall behind you. Tom Trainer says that he loves it.
Now, it's the Crisis poster over there.
Oh yeah, Lamont worked on Crisis, if I didn't say that, by the way.
Yes, I did. The Black Lightning Flash stuff, I got to work with like Eric Wallace and Sterling Gates. I was like, what's Sterling first name? Sterling and I got to write that library scene where Jefferson and Barry meet, and it was one of the most surreal moments of my life because growing up, I watched all these characters on TV and cartoons, and you would never think that these people would exist in live action. And I remember the first day I was on set for Crisis, we were on the Wave Rider.
Hmm.
Two Supermen. You got Diggle, you Black Lightning. Who else was there? The everyone. That was like one of those big fight sequences, and I was just I called it superhero summer camp because it was just such a blast. So I'm a DC guy, but I'm a Spider-Man guy as well. So it's like you get one fandom and then one person from the other side. I think that's the rule. So I'm a DC guy, but I love Spider-Man.
With a sprinkle of Spider-Man on top.
Yeah, because that's why I can't wait. I hope they do Static at some point.
They have to, right?
It's our Spider-Man. It's DC Spider-Man, the smart kid, the science kid who gets abilities. Kind of like, Virgil is less of a outcast than Peter was,
Hmm.
but I can't wait to see that. That's the thing I want to see.
Okay,
And then,
so what I'm hearing is Lamont loves Static. Lamont should write Static. Let's all get on Twitter and tweet at WB that we want the Lamont Magee Static movie. I'm so glad that you brought up other fandoms because of course, I have to ask you about the Star Wars of it all and the Young Jedi Adventures of it all. And right off the bat, I want to ask from a writerly perspective, a lot of the stories that you tell are for like a teen and up audience, and Young Jedi Adventures is for like a little person and down audience. Was that a real adjustment for you?
you have to take out the sarcasm, but for the most part, the stories are the same. All stories are there to teach lessons. All stories are there to show heart and compassion and courage and all that. But you have to just distill it down to the basest elements so kids
Mhm.
follow it. But adults will be able to watch it with their kids and go, "This is fun. I like this." It's not just for kids. Like we made it in a way where it's definitely for kids 3 and under and 3 and up, and everything is great. But their parents can sit down and enjoy it because it's also the first time their kids, if they're in this fandom,
Mhm.
this is the first time they can sit down and watch Star Wars with their kids.
Mhm.
They're gonna love it. It's a great show. Like, I can't wait for people to see it.
Can you tease us a little bit about Kai Brightstar, who's the lead of the show, and can you maybe let us know which episodes you really think we should be looking out for?
Honestly, uh, I'm not even gonna talk about my episodes. I'm gonna say you should watch all the episodes
Yes.
because each episode comes with a lesson.
Mhm.
So it's sometimes, kids are kids. They don't listen to their parents, but they
Mhm.
will listen to a TV show. It's just the way the world works. But and as far as Kai goes, he's just a kid who really believes in what he's doing. Like,
Mhm.
I can't say anything else because I feel like I have every camera on me from
Yeah.
and they're like, "We've been working on this show for how many years?" And you gave that away 3 months or 4 months before. Nope, not getting me. But I will say you should watch it. Anybody can watch it. It's amazing. The animation's amazing. The characters are cute and lovable, and everybody's gonna become like best friends. And I can't wait until Halloween when these costumes come out and I see little Kai Bright Stars running around with their lightsabers. Like, if I can have Black Lightning kids and
Mhm.
Bright Stars running around, look, I've done a lot.
You've done all the good work.
Good work. I'm really happy that I got brought on to Black Lightning when I did, and like that team allowed me to be the geeky, nerdy fandom kid that was like, "Hey, but can we go a little bit further? How about this?" Like, I was
Mhm.
always that guy in the room. But I look forward to hopefully it having some presence uh, Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures having some presence for years to come.
I have a
Molding lines and such.
I have a couple comments from the chat that I want to bring in as we are preparing to sadly let Lamont go. Jake Hefner says, hot take, Static is cooler than Spider-Man. You can't see, but our next guest is applauding right now in the green room.
Yes, but Virgil is cooler than Peter. That is
100%. Can you imagine? Like, Virgil would have 1,000,000 times the TikTok followers that Peter would have, or whatever the children are now.
Yeah, Spider-Man and Static are the same. Virgil is cooler than Peter.
Yes. Oh, well said. That's why you're a professional writer. Brian McGarity says, I have a toddler and had no idea Star Wars Young Jedi Adventures was coming out. You're welcome. Lamont, you're welcome.
May the 4th.
I know. Isn't that cute? I'm super psyched about it. So we'll be watching every episode. So when you watch it and you love it, be sure to find Lamont on social media and tell him how much you loved the show.
Yes. No hate. All love.
No, there's truly no point in hating anything. Lamont, I think you're a genius. I adore you so much. I'm going to let you go because the power of my microphone has pushed us over the time. But can you let everybody know where they can find you, where they can follow you, where they can come and share the joy about Black Lightning, DC Power, and Young Jedi Adventures?
You can follow me at Lamont Magee, LamontMagee on Twitter while I'm still there. And then I have at LAMAGEE 33. That's my IG. And LinkedIn, it's just my name, Lamont Magee. I'm easy.
You got LinkedIn? You're a grown-up.
I have to lie to people sometimes and pretend.
All right. Thank you so much for joining us today here in the Popverse, and I hope that we'll have you back very soon.
I have things to tell you later, so yes.
Yay! Bye!